Okay, and just like that, the Oklahoma Sooners get a scholarship commitment from the four-star defensive back Jeremiah Newcombe. And listen, this has been a long-awaited thing. I've been waiting, you've been waiting, and we got to talk about it. But before we do that, please go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you all think down in the comments below. Are you excited to see Oklahoma gain their first commitment on the defensive side of the ball? And listen, guys, if you're seeing my videos pop up on your feed and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Because I'm still going to pop up on your feed regardless. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, help me out because I'm just a poor old boy just about to get married and have all my money taken away from me. So I need y'all's help. But on that note, you guys will notice that I am not in my normal setting. I am actually in Frisco, Texas with my lovely soon-to-be bride who's going to take away all my money. But we are here on the Texas Film Festival, and I did not expect to see a commitment this week. In fact, I was expecting to see one maybe here in 2 weeks. So if that kind of gives you guys any insight to the next commitments that are about to line up. But Jeremiah Newcombe announced on Twitter today after his, recent visits to Oklahoma saying, I would like to thank my family, friends, coaches for supporting me throughout this whole process. It's pretty normal. Everybody says that. I would also like to thank my dad for everything he had done for me from the start. You've helped me in so many ways and pushed me to be the best I can be as an athlete, student, and young man standing on my own 2 feet. I would also like to thank my teachers. I don't see that one very often. For helping and guiding me after thinking this through and talking with my family. I would like to announce my commitment to the University of Oklahoma, #BoomerSooner. And I know the other day this really started to gain some traction because, well, you all saw he got fonged to the University of Oklahoma on the 24th by Steve Wiltfong himself. And then shortly right after that, you saw Brandon Drum and Brandon Drum literally 4 minutes later, Parker Thune, and even Chris Karpman, who is part of the Arizona State insider team. So usually when you start to see those insiders from other teams start to flow in crystal balls to a player to go to a specific school, yeah, it's kind of happening at that point. But Jeremiah Newcombe, he is a 4-star cornerback, 5'11", 175-pound kid out of Castile High School in Queen Creek, Arizona. Currently number 209 in the 247 composite. But listen, we are way too early in the 2024 recruiting cycle to actually know what these kids are going to end up being by the end of the cycle. But here's the deal. When you look at his film, there's a couple things that you notice where the kid can maybe potentially grow and develop a little bit better. The first thing is, as always, the thing that we say with 99% of these high school players, they've got to put on the muscle mass. They got to be able to get bigger to play with these Power 5 football players, especially with Oklahoma going to the SEC. You're playing with the big boys. You're playing with the boys that are going to the NFL, usually the guys that are almost turning into the Hall of Famers. But one thing that we do notice is he has some very good top end speed. And you notice this because he plays offense and defense, primarily starring out there on the defense, but also is a two-sport athlete. So he plays a little bit of basketball, point guard, shooting guard. So he's having to kind of direct the floor there. But looking at what he was able to do in his high school career, this is kind of what you're going to get with the kid. He had 101 total tackles in 3 years so far, 155 total tackles, 101 solos. He had 1 tackle for loss, 4.7 tackles a game. Here's the deal. As a cornerback, their numbers are not going to be as high as maybe a linebacker or a lineman. So for the kid to have 155 total tackles, that tells you he's not afraid to get up there with the best of them and bring them down to the ground, or at least come to the ground with them, which is sometimes I think something that you see a lot of the time with these corners and these safeties. They don't always want to go put in that hard work against sometimes the best of the best. They just kind of want to be able to jump up there and get a pass breakup. But when you look at some of his other defensive statistics, he has 13 total interceptions in his 3 years, 231 interception yards. In 2021 and 2022, he had a 26.9 yard average there. And then he had 33 pass breakups. So again, this is a guy that we know playing a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. That has helped him excel on the defensive side of the ball because, well, he can go up there and grab it with the best of them. On the receiving side, on the offensive side, in 2 years, he had 50 receptions, 654 yards with only 6 touchdowns. And then he had 6 rushing touchdowns with 425 yards. So that tells you where that top end speed is coming from, because if he's having to do it on both sides of the ball and he's playing at the wide receiver and the running back, listen, the kid can do it all. But his family, he comes from a family where, well, he's got athletes. His brother, Isaiah Newcombe, is a UCLA defensive back currently. So something to watch here. Maybe he enters the transfer portal to come play with his brother. That is always a possibility. But his father, Bobby Newcombe, was a Nebraska quarterback from 97 to 2000, which, well, we all know it. Those Nebraska teams in the 90s were something different. He actually went in the 6th round in 2001 in the NFL draft. So you really started to see his recruitment kind of heat up a little bit. He got that offer from the Sooners on November 1st. He got offered by Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Michigan soon after. And that's kind of what we got. The Sooners get their first commitment. It's not from a quarterback. It's not from any of these wide receivers that we've seen, which, gosh, I hope Brian Wesco hurries up and makes a decision, because I'd like for OU to land that 5-star wide receiver. But they get their first commitment. So go ahead, guys. Jump down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about the newest commit for the Oklahoma Sooners. And additionally, if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. Again, guys, I'm about to be even poorer than I am already. So I need you to kind of watch these videos. I need you to subscribe. And I need to tell me that you guys like this content.